Welcome back to another content, talking football with my guy Joe here. Joe, how about the Detroit Lions? You look at the way they started the season, and you would think it's the same old story. But this is a different Lions team. They've won six of their last eight. And it's funny because I during while they were struggling, I was watching Hard Knocks on HBO Max of the Detroit Lions, basically their training camp. And I'm a fan of their coaching staff. They hold their players accountable. They were very picky and selective on who will make the cut on the team. And this is for training camp. And now we're in the second half of the season, and this team just looks completely different from the first half team. They're 7-7 now. They've beaten the Giants. They've beaten the Jets. They've beaten the Packers. They gave Buffalo a scare on Thanksgiving Day. This team is just playing great football. And if this team makes the playoffs, it's going to be very, very scary. They could be that last team to get in the playoffs that could make some noise.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Yeah, for sure. I think that they've improved. Where haven't they improved? Right? They've improved pretty much across the board. In my opinion, and I think, like you said, it's kind of thanks to their head coach Dan Campbell. I'm also a fan of his. He used to play with the Cowboys, and I think he's a really decent coach. And I know he's coached around the league a couple places, and I think he's probably the biggest reason for their turnaround. To go from maybe the worst team in the league to maybe having a playoff shot, and with the way they're racking up wins, they can make a little run in the playoffs. It's interesting, but I think we're starting to see, my opinion, I think we're starting to see the parity that the NFL is trying to create sort of coming through, and it's not that difficult these days for a team to go from that, from the beginning of the year to look like you might get the first pick in the draft to possibly making the Super Bowl run. I don't think there's that much difference between the worst team and the best team like there used to be.
Detroit, I feel that they will have to win two of their last three to make the postseason, plus with some help. But like I said, Detroit is looking like a completely different team. And the fact that their coaching staff, all those guys used to play football. Deuce Staley is their running backs coach. Mark Brunell is the quarterback coach. Aaron Glenn, I think he's the defensive coach or something like that. And Dan Campbell, I like Dan Campbell. I like his energy. He's like that players coach type guy, in my opinion. But after seeing training camp on Hard Knocks on HBO Max, that Lions team, there's a lot of harmony in that team. They went through an embarrassment last season, and they don't want to go through that again this year. And so far, it's been a feel-good story for the city of Detroit.
Yeah, they're turning it around. It's fun to watch. They've got my interest peaked for sure.
Now let's talk about the Bengals versus Patriots, which is one of those games that I'm looking forward to watch. And Cincinnati Bengals are another team that's been red hot lately. They've won 6 in a row. They've won 8 of their last 9, and their offensive line got better compared to last season. During the 6-game winning streak, Joe Burrow has been very tough to get sacked thanks to that offensive line and him getting the ball out quicker. They do need to be aware that Patriots, they do have a solid defense. Devontae Adams, he only had 4 catches last weekend against the Patriots, so they did a good job covering him despite that loss. But Jamar Chase, he's going to be a target. But Bengals have a decent um, defense as well. So this is going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, Joe Burrow is quickly becoming my favorite quarterback, young quarterback to watch play. I really like the way he approaches the game. I like to watch him play. He's got something about him when he's out there that I really enjoy, and he's getting rid of the ball, and that's giving his offensive line a little bit of time to not be so pushed back, and they're responding. That's it's all about a balance. I think you and I have talked about that before, but that's exactly what's going on. Joe Burrow's getting better, and his people around him are responding, and it's pretty cool to I'm really excited. Yeah, the Patriots, on the other hand, you know, they're a bit of a mess, and that play last week was maybe the one of the worst that I've seen in a while, if not ever.
Yeah, that was crazy. But that should be an interesting matchup. Now, last but not least, Philadelphia Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts might not play, but I still feel that the Eagles have an advantage from a wide receiver standpoint. You have Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, the list goes on and on. Their defense is top notch in the league. Dallas Cowboys, they have the running game, but Eagles will need to slow them down in the running game. Dak Prescott, if he doesn't release the ball quicker, he's the Eagles defense is gonna have a field day with him because Dak Prescott, that's one of his flaws. If he holds up the ball on for too long, he's gonna get sacked, he's gonna get pressure, and you don't want that against that Eagles defense. So the Eagles defense could really expose Dak Prescott in this game.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna preface this with, I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'll try to make this as non-biased as possible. But here's what I'll tell you about the Eagles and the Cowboys. I know more about the NFC East than any other division. So I believe Hertz is out. I think they're starting the other guy. But yeah, to be honest with you, I think Dallas matches up well against the Philly. I think we would have beat them in the first game, obviously, if Dak was there, and I believe we'll beat them at home in the second game. Now, that's just me. I think we match up well. I know we got beat by the Jaguars. There were some issues there. I don't think that's indicative of who the Cowboys are. I don't think that's indicative of how we're going to play against the Eagles. I don't think that's going to affect our play. So I think they match up well. The fact that Jalen Hurts isn't playing is going to make it really tough. I think Dak gets rid of the ball maybe too quickly sometimes, and according to Mike McCarthy, he wants them to continue doing that. So I do think it's going to be a good game. I think the one question mark that nobody knows is this quarterback that they're putting in. No one's seen him play much. So if he's got some ability and can do things that the defense can't prepare for, it could be an interesting game.
And the fact that Dallas playing at home, that's another plus for them. But it is going to be an interesting matchup. I just feel that, I mean, anything can happen on any given Sunday. Anybody can be beaten. So, but yes, it sucks that you're not gonna have Jalen Hurts there, but I still feel that the Eagles are loaded, just like the Cowboys. But like I said, the Eagles to have success against Dallas, they will have to slow down the running game. I feel like that's one of the things that they will have to do.
And vice
So
versa. The Cowboys are going to have to stop the Eagles running game. That's going to be a key for both sides. No question.
especially that pass defense of the Cowboys. So, but it's gonna be a fun matchup. I can't wait. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Christmas Eve, man, Christmas Eve. I'm looking forward to it.
Should be great.
Well, guys, those that's what we have for you. We're so excited to have football on a Saturday, Christmas Eve. So, stay tuned. Stay tuned for more content from myself and Joe.
Thanks, Mike.